Welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus, back to Daily Reviews. Today, have I got a banger for you? A banger of bangers, yes. So the game we're going to be looking at today is called River City Ransom. It was originally released in the West and America under a different name. It used to be called Street Gangs. But we won't be looking at that, we're going to be looking at the original translated Japanese development title called River City Ransom, which is found upon the Technos 1 arcade collection on Evercade. Upon this wonderful cartridge, Technos Arcade Collection 1, you will find 8 amazing games, including Double Dragon 2, and the one we're going to be looking at today, River City Ransom. So I've got a bit of a history with these 80s, 90s style beat-em-ups. I flippin' absolutely love these. And River City Ransom, or Street Gangs as it was known in the West, was one of my very favourite games. First of all, let's read the bio text on the cartridge. I hold your high school captive, come and get me if you dare. But you aren't afraid of anybody, least of all this loser with delusions of grandeur. Face an assortment of gangs and take down their bosses, climbing the ladder as you make your way to River City High and the final battle with Slick. Use the money dropped by defeated enemies to buy useful items at the shops you will find along the way. And don't forget to equip new gear and use consumable items in the status menu. Just as in its cousin series Double Dragon, you can jump by pressing both punch and kick buttons at the same time. You can also dash by double tapping the directional buttons. Use your full range of moves and don't be afraid to bring a buddy along for the brawl. So without further ado, let's get started. River City Ransom, ladies, gents and Pikachus. To start with, I just want to note that this game is almost as old as me. This game is literally 7 years younger than I am, and I'm an old man, so just bear with me. It might look a little bit basic, the menu system might look a little bit rudimentary, but I can guarantee you one thing, you will love this game. It is absolutely awesome. And I for one can't wait to get started, so I'm not going to bother reading you the intro text. The basics of it are, Ryan's girlfriend has been captive, taken hostage, and you have to go and save her by beating up a load of guys and then killing the bosses. So you can start with Alex or you can start with Ryan. I always start with Alex because he has blue jeans, whereas Ryan has a blue top and white jeans. And as usual, we get started by checking out the controls. You can move around with the D-pad, you can punch by pressing A, you can kick by pressing B, and you can jump by pressing A and B together. Also, if there are weapons on the ground, you can stand over them and press B to pick them up. Then you can launch them by pressing B, or you can use them as a weapon by pressing A. And as you can see, it's fairly simple to get stuck into this game and start beating the absolute living hell out of anyone you see. And what's quite cute is at the bottom you get a little kind of NPC text dialogues from what they're saying as you're beating 10 tons of crap out of them. Jerry, yep, that's what they say when you kill them. They say barf, you know, that kind of thing. So I won't be doing that all the way along. I just wanted to give you a little artistic impression of what one of these guys will sound like as you beat the living hell out of them. As you can see, there are different weapons. You have bats, chains, you can pick up bins and boxes from the road, you can pick up anything that you see, and there's actually a rudimentary physics system in play here. So if you throw a weapon, as it bounces off the person, it will actually damage anyone else it is to hit, which is pretty cool. Also, picking up the money dropped by the enemies is a good idea because you will hit the shops later where you can buy food for health, you can buy other things to improve your character stats, and you can buy books which will teach you different fighting moves. And that's absolutely going to be essential if you want to complete this game, because although it's an easy game to play, it is a difficult game to master. And as you saw there, if you whack into the side of the screen with a kicked bin or box, when it lands, it will damage you, so be careful where you throw things. Fairly early in the game, you'll be shown to a shopping centre, which looks like this. So you've got your general food shops, you have got your bookshops. Now, why would you need a bookshop in a fighting game, you might ask? Well, that's because you can buy martial arts books, and within those books you will find different movesets you can learn by equipping that book. And while you have that book equipped, you'll be able to perform that move. And the other shops are going to be food shops, so you can stock up on tea, hot cocoa, pancakes, waffles, McDonald's, chili rolls, crisps, anything you want. And the different types of food have different effects on your statistics, as we will look at now. Unusually for a fighting game, you do have a kind of RPG character creation element. You can improve your stats by eating various foods, by picking up different books and reading them, and this will affect the way that you play the game. Now, most people will spend their money on bits and bobs of food to keep their health up. That's exactly what I'm going to do now. But the shrewd among you, the really clever player, will save their money up for the best items in the game, which are the most expensive martial arts books that you can buy in the later town cities. And these give you abilities like a spinning kick, a somersault kick, a double kick, a back kick, a dragon punch, all kinds of things. And off we go, out of the first town. So you can see what you're getting with this game very early on. It doesn't really change throughout the game, it just gets progressively tougher. You visit more exotic locations, and as you beat up these generally crappy punks on the street and build yourself up, you will then fight the bosses. Acro Circus. Acro Circus for me is the best early book game that you can get, and it changes your double button jump. When you're doing a running jump, instead of just doing a regular jump, what you'll do is a spinny flippy kick, and you will damage anyone who you come into contact with. So once you've done the jump, you don't need to press any more buttons, you will generally damage anyone who you hit into. I forgot about that. You can pick up your downed enemies. If they're not quite dead, you can pick them up, use them as a weapon, or you can just throw them and then they will die when they hit the ground. Mama! Shut up, Biff, you pansy. God, these nerds deserve to get beaten up, don't they? Oh, for goodness sake. Like I said earlier, be very careful when you're kicking things along the ground or throwing boxes and bins, because it's very easy to actually damage yourself, and as we will find out, I will regularly kill myself by hitting myself with a bin that I have thrown when I'm on 1 bar of health. So as you can see, various locations have different leveled effects. You can jump on fences, you can jump on the top of houses or cars or things like that, and what you'll find is that enemies are able to jump, but generally they won't follow you up onto places. So if you find the action's a little bit tough for you and you want to pansy out, feel free to jump up on a house and have a little rest. Although this won't replenish your health, it will give your thumbs a rest, and then you can return to the action and continue beating those pansy nerds. And now we reach the game's first level that has a death drop. So what you can see down there is a trash, I don't know what you'd call it, like a landfill hole. Anything you throw in there is gone forever. It's like Jabba the Hutt's mouth. You don't want to fall in there because you'll be slowly digested over thousands and thousands of years. Neither do you want to throw the bosses down there for an instant kill, because you will then not be able to pick up the large amount of money that they will drop. And then after you die and end up in a town like I just did, you will have less money to spend on items. And although when you die you do get most of your health back, it doesn't 100% fill your health. I think it only goes to 80%. And like I say, you will lose out on that lovely money, so got to get that bag. Make sure you get that bag or you won't be able to buy donuts, muffins and bagels. A little bit of trivia for you here. They've taken it out of the game now, which is a shame, but when this was, or maybe it was never in it. In Street Gangs, the western version of this game, you used to be able to ask for a free smile at any food shop with a woman behind the counter, and a free smile would refill your willpower by 1. So you could have 49 free smiles in a row and refill your willpower pretty much to its fullest, and that was a cool little feature, but maybe the Japanese thought that was rude, so they took it out. And we will return to the fray. Let's go beat up some more nerds, guys. Also at the bottom it tells you what the gang is called. So this is called the Generic Dudes Turf. So these guys are called the Generic Dudes. And they do look kind of generic. They are kind of wimpy, aren't they? So let's beat these guys up and take their money. Oh, they only 3 hits and is enough to kill these guys. They're pretty weak. As you go through the game you'll find that the NPCs do get a little bit tougher. The bosses certainly do get tougher towards the end of the game, and there's various places where you'll actually have to fight 2 bosses at once. So in a single player mode this is very difficult, and you will need to cheese these bosses to really kill them. Although if you're in a 2-player mode, 1 player can stand at the back and punch them in the back, while you stand in front of them and kick them in the balls. And I find this to be a very honourable strategy when fighting generic street punks like these dudes. In terms of weaponry, the bat's pretty cool. Yeah, the bat's good. But what you really want is the chain, because it has a slightly longer reach and does more damage. Where's Moose? Come on, Moose, I want to fight you. For some reason, Moose hasn't appeared, so we're going to have to... Moose! I'm throwing all your crap into the bin. What a pansy. Moose is a pansy. He's not going to come, is he? So, yes, another thing I've just figured out in this version of the game, once you've been killed by a boss and you return to his screen, he won't respawn immediately. You will have to fight another boss or visit some other screens first before he respawns. And I suppose this is a way to make sure that you don't try and cheese the bosses. But believe you me, you will be cheesing those bosses because they get very difficult towards the end of the game. So we've reached the part of the game where we get a little bit of lore. We get Roxy, who is the girlfriend of Slick, the eventual boss. And she is telling you exactly where you need to go to complete your quest and rescue Cindy. And she's giving you a little information on who you're going to fight and a little bit of information about what they are like. And some general advice to power up before you face the final boss or you will get soundly beaten. Which is true. So now that you have a little bit of flavour about what this game entails and how to play it, let's have a look at one of the boss fights. This is almost like a secret boss fight, you know, you don't actually have to fight these guys. Benny and Clyde, the twins. So as you saw, I didn't let them finish the dialogue. I honourably punched him in the balls while he was talking and got the fight started. And I was repaid with an immediate death. So note to self, don't just punch him in the balls when there is a character on either side of you. Wait until you are one side and they're on the other and then start to attack them. Oh yeah, and another thing is when you're running, if you don't manually stop running, you will run into the end of boxes and walls and damage yourself, so try not to do that. And you will get a lot further in life. So, although these characters aren't completely stupid, they're not the most intelligent. They will run into walls if you allow them to. There's my little acro jump, that little spinny jump. And running and jumping gives you a little bit more distance, so you can get up these high boxes. Another cool feature of this game, which I really love, is you can defeat the time and space continuum. If you have a box, look at that, I can punch through a wall. There you go, you punks. The wall is punching you with a box. Imagine what that looks like from the other side. You're just happily walking into a wall, holding a tyre, waiting for the player character to arrive and reach you. And the edge of a wooden box just comes through the wall and punches you and knocks you out, and you're like, what? And then it punches your friend and knocks him out, and you're both like, oh, this is amazing. But anyway, back to the game. So after I run into this wall, I start getting beaten up by Rocco, who is the boss of this stage, and I managed to get killed without even laying a single punch on the guy, thusly confirming, yes, Daily Corvid, you are terrible at these games. Even though you love them, you need to get good and practice. Get good, bro. Get good. See, look, that woman, she don't even want to talk to me. I need to get good. Look, I'm floored by it. I'm floored by her beauty. Can we go on a date, please, missus? We need to go on a date, please, missy. Because it's a Japanese game. Why isn't she answering me? Run away. I'm embarrassed. Run away. That never happened. So anyway, we're back on the Jock's turf. We're going to have another go at the two bosses. Die. Ha! I got you this time, haven't I? He tries to do this little jump kick thing, which is a pretty smart move because you can kick over the top of a block, which is pretty cool considering this game is so old. Ha! Oh, quick, he's getting his breath back. Kill him. Yeah, there you go. Benny, you are dead. I'm exhausted and all punched out. Oh, I'm dead, aren't I? God damn it! Yeah, so this is the point where you want to go into your belongings when you're lying on the floor dazed and confused. Eat your bagels, eat your honey buns, eat your croissant. I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent? French people are generally not very good at fighting. They tend to run away, so I think croissant will be the last thing we eat. And that means we won't die. We will in fact be able to run away and fight another day. And our max power is back up. We've got a little bit of health. So let's get back to the fight and see if we can avoid certain death. I don't think we're going to avoid certain death here. No, the fabled jump kick. See, if I was smart, I would do my jump kick there, and that would defeat his kick. But I'm not smart. I am not a superior man. I am a rather stupid man. And I'm back at the Waterfront Mall. So, now that you've seen the bosses and the general gameplay, I feel it's worth showing you a little bit more of the game. so you can decide whether you want to buy this or not, but let me tell you, this game is good. You do want to buy this game. You should decide if you have any style and taste in computer games that you do in fact wish to own this particular game, and it is flipping amazing. I mean, it's not like there's that much variety to the gameplay. It's kick, punch, jump and special move, and you go through various screens and you end up just beating loads of guys up. But I feel the best thing about this game is playing it in 2-player, because you can do friendly fire, you can attack each other, you can pick up your friend and throw them as a weapon, and like I say, you can bully guys by getting either side of one person and punching the hell out of them and kicking them from the other side. So, despite my terrible skill and my many deaths, what do I think of this game? This is a cracking game, really good sound graphics, even has a little bit of physics in there. This is a winner for me. So, what do I think of this game, River City Ransom? Well, obviously I enjoy this game. I was saying that throughout the review, and that is absolutely true. I had a whale of a time with this game. Really enjoyed making this review and revisiting this game, which I had when I was a youngster on the original Nintendo console. But in terms of current day games, it is still one of the most fun beat 'em ups you can get. If you enjoyed other games in the genre, such as Double Dragon, Battletoads or Streets of Rage, you're absolutely going to have a fantastic time with this game. The background music's really catchy and cool. There's a different piece of music for every place in town, boss fight music and town music. The sound effects leave a little bit to be desired, but we're not going to lose points for that because it is a very old game. And considering the size of the world, there's plenty of secrets to find. There's loads of different fighting moves to be learned from the books you can buy in the shops. And just the fact that it's absolutely fantastic in 2-player mode, you will have a brilliant time if there's 2 of you and you'll never get bored of playing this game. With all that considered, I think, yeah, in conclusion, the fun rating I'm going to give this game is 8 out of 10. I nearly gave it a 9, but it's just not that original. It was actually at the time quite original, but in contrast to what you can buy now, it's not that original, but nevertheless, it's a fantastic game. It's really good fun. Even kids can play this because there's no blood. Yes, there's fighting, but there's no gore. And the storyline and the kind of lore that you find as you're going through the game is really light-hearted and fun. You're just going to have endless amounts of good times with this game, so I recommend go out and buy it if you've got an Evercade platform console, and you will have no end of hours of fun with this game. So like I say in conclusion, 8 out of 10, must buy, absolutely love this game, go out and buy it right now. So that brings us to the end of the video and the end of this review. So I will say goodbye to you and good night. Hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. And this game is officially better than Starfield. Confirmed. So go out and buy it and you will absolutely love playing that. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that. God bless, and I will see you next time.